Good morning and welcome to Theresa Trek Tuesday, episode 3. Today I decided to give you a sneak peek into my office where all the transformations take place. And this is our temporary headquarters. We're renting here until we go to the ranch, which I believe is going to happen within 3 weeks. But I can't tell you any details right now, so you'll just have to wait. Maybe next week. Anyway, one of the things I wanted to tell you about was what happens in this room of healing. I happen to pray on that table every day. Sometimes I pray for hours, and I have this amazing Shekinah atmosphere in here. And so when people come in, when they hit the doorway, sometimes they go, whoa, there is so much love and peace and presence of God in this room. And so they're already anticipating what's going to happen. So last week I talked about my one-of-a-kind massage therapy, which isn't really just a massage. It's a spirit, soul, body alignment and transformation. And it's called the Personal Destiny Treatment. But today I thought I would talk to you about my emotional cleansing session, which follows that session. And, in 2013, I was hit from behind with a woman texting. And I received a pretty hefty whiplash injury from that. And so I went to this essential oil class for raindrop therapy and emotional release. And when they described the emotional release, I thought I was in so much pain. I had an egg-shaped bulge on the back of my shoulder, and I was in so much pain during that class that I could hardly stand it. And I thought, okay, when we do the activation, this is what I'm going to go after. But there is no way in the world that a whiplash could have an emotional root. I'm thinking, I don't even believe this. So the whole thing we're going through, learning that all illness, physical illness, has an emotional root. But I was thinking, no, but I'm going to test it, So we went through the whole procedure, and it involves essential oils. It involves locations on the body where emotional trauma embeds itself in the cellular memory. And I already knew that was true because I know that anger embeds itself in the liver. I know that grief and sorrow embeds itself in the lungs. I know that fibromyalgia is caused by usually a broken relationship with a parent, resulting in depression and anxiety and fear. And I knew a lot of that already. I've done a lot of training. I have a lot of tools in my bag from Elijah House and many other therapies. And so, but how can whiplash be an emotional root? I had nothing to do with it, I thought. And I can't go through all the details of why it really was an emotional root, but I'll tell you this. At the end of that treatment, we said the prayer. We connected the brain circuits with essential oils on our fingers. And once we connected the brain circuit, it aligned the body with what the spirit believed as the truth. And the egg on my back disappeared immediately, and the pain was gone. I was in shock. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to go into this therapy. And so I did. But I call mine emotional cleansing because it isn't the same treatment that they're doing. Mine has so many different elements. And with mine, we locate the lie that you believe that allowed that keeps that emotion embedded in that cellular memory. Then we pull it out and we replace it with the truth. Then we align the brain so it will cooperate and believe the truth. And then you do maintenance on that. You say your affirmations while inhaling the oil for 30 to 90 days to make it stick, because the body always wants to go back into a rut where it was, the familiar, and you have to stop it. So anyway, I had a couple people recently who had the most amazing transformations, and one of them was my spiritual daughter, whose picture I will show, or maybe even a live testimonial of her below this video on this thread. And she came and was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis and had lost a major part of the upper part of her vision, and had some other issues, physical issues. And she went through a 3-day intensive release, and we did massage therapy, the personal destiny treatment. We did a kingdom activation and emotional release, among other things. We also did a parental blessing through my parents, which is amazing. And she regained her sight. And then she went back to her doctor, and we have the proof. We have the diagnosis and the 9 tests prior to the treatment, all showing all these problems. And after the treatment, clear bill of health, 100% restoration of her vision. And I had another lady that went through intensive inner healing here, and after her 3rd treatment, she passed a mass like this big, a rubbery mass, and that would have been cancer. But we uprooted the lie, and so it had to go. All right. So anyway, come into my office, and I will explain to you that I use my my music. This is therapeutic music recorded at 65 and 55 beats per minute, which lowers the heart rate and the blood pressure, thereby giving the body an atmosphere to heal itself. And of course, everything we do is like an impartation of love from the Father through me to the person. We use essential oils, and we mix a custom oil blend for each person depending on your physical, emotional, and spiritual needs. And then I use live instruments. And I use the harp. And the harp is very good for helping people grieve and pulling out the pain of the past. And on the wall you see the certification that I have for the many different treatments that will happen here and at the ranch. So stay tuned for next week for the exciting news of what Theresa Trek will say next. All right. Thanks for joining. Bye-bye.